without the bag, of the Wargamer number 55, which has as its featured game Okinawa, the Bloodiest Battle in the Pacific, which is designed by Roger Nord. Now, I don't have the bag for this, and I actually keep my war game magazine, or my magazine games, in a little see-through envelope here, and I've got the baggies ready for it, for punching out the counters once we get to that. And I laid the map out already because I wanted to make it easier to, when we get to that aspect, to talk about this. But you get, in the Wargamer 55, you get a map here for the Okinawa game, and you also get, let's pull out here, you get an insert. I might actually cover that separately in my insert segment that I do every once in a while. And you get counter sheets. You get 2 counter sheets here for the game, and they're double-sided. So you get 1 counter sheet and then a half counter sheet here, which has the U.S. Marines and the U.S. Army. You can see on there, and they are double-sided. And then we get the magazine itself. And again, what this primarily is covering is the Battle of Okinawa, but there are some other things in here. So let's take a look here as we page through the magazine here. So we're talking about the Last Samurai, Weapons and Tactics, the Kamikaze. Then you got Okinawa Rules, which is a huge segment of this magazine. Then there's clubs, swap shop, MASH, briefings, G2, and mail call. So I don't have a lot of Wargamers or the Wargamer. I have a few. It's really based on the titles that they had and what I was interested in. So it has somewhat of the same format of a lot of these games, where they have articles and then you're going to have a featured game in there. So this is The Last Samurai. And there's some ads in here. There's battle hymns. It tells you the time period of this, because Victory Games was still in existence. This is number 55, and the price of this was $10. Be nice to get a game for $10 in any fashion nowadays. And so this is probably talking about the setup for Okinawa, the Last Samurai and the Kamikaze, because Okinawa was known for, it was towards the end of the war, and the Japanese were very desperate, and they turned to this, kamikaze strategy. And there are other games out there that kind of reflect the, the picket duty of the U.S. forces having to guard against kamikazes and try to shoot them down. Then you get into the rules themselves, and they have, as much was the fashion for magazine games back then, you have it as insert. The good thing about this, though, is at least I think the rules are self-contained. So if I take out this center staple here, I should be able to get just the rules and then leave the magazine intact. Now, completists probably want to keep it all together. I like pulling these out and having the rules in my bag with just the map, counters, and rules, and then I put the magazine, somewhere else. It saves a little space in storing these. When you store several of these, it saves a little bit of space in thickness. Of course, the rules are pretty thick here. They're most of the rules here, and they're a little bit thicker paper than looks like there's 27 pages with the back page of rules. They're a little bit thicker paper than the rest of the magazine. At least feels a little bit different. But so the middle of this is the rules. You're going to have your standard fare of introduction, talking about the units, counters and components, sequence of play, air and naval, which is going to be a key factor in the Battle of Okinawa. Then you have these columns here that are delineated columns, which is a little bit different than some of the rules I've seen. Then you get some charts here, some of your combat charts. And so there's several charts in the middle there. And then more rules. as I said, the rules go up to pretty dense. I mean, you have these in these columns, but it's quite a bit of rules. Given that, so you go, it's page 27. Let's see, when does it start? I think it starts on like 14. Nope, it starts on. Ooh, well, it goes way back there. So you're talking about from page. Yeah, so it's 27 pages of rules. That's quite a because they're delineated or numbered separately. So, wow, quite a bit of rules there. Then you go into the rest of the magazine, which there really isn't much other than that one article. Is primarily what, and it looks like that's a continuation of the article. So that's primarily what is in this magazine. Is I don't even know if I'll take the rules out of this, given that most of this magazine is that article around the game, and then the bulk of the magazine is the rules itself. Then you've got some other, I guess, standard articles that they cover in there, and then their mail call. So, yeah. Oh, there's ASL. Look at that. So I might just keep this all together in here. I was going to think about taking out the rules, but since most of that is that article itself, I'll probably leave that the way it is. So to the map itself here, you can see. Not sure if I really like the colors. It's very bold. You know, we got the blues here on the tracks. This is the air loss suppression track. You have the victory point track. So you have these very, very bold blue and red here, which kind of fades into a little bit of the surrounding ocean. You have a side island here. You have your terrain and movement effects here, or terrain movement key, a bombardment table, weather effects, weather, allied fleet boxes there. Let's put these counters out of the way here. And then you have the Okinawa itself. So I don't know. Some of the colors, it's I just don't. It doesn't jump out at me. It's a little. I don't know if garish is the right word, but it's not really making me love this map. I think it's functional. I mean, you can tell what the different terrains are in the hex, which is very key. You have these airfields here. I don't know if it's important to have them completely laid out the way they are, covering multiple hexes. Maybe that's part of the game. I need to get into the rules. And then you have the combat fatigue up here in this far corner here that I think relates to the different types of terrain. So that's an interesting feature. Don't see that in a lot of games, so maybe the terrain is actually going to have a fatigue effect on the troops. That's which is be interesting to see how they play that out. That definitely is an effect in combat in World War II, in the islands, in the jungles. See how they play that out in this game here. But so that is what you get in the magazine. Wargamer, the Wargamer, number 55, which is covering the Battle of Okinawa. You get your counters, and keep on flipping those from the wrong side. And can't forget the insert. Again, I might cover that in one of my copies. That's a little bit different insert than what you normally see in some of these things. But that's what you get in the Wargamer 55. Price $9.95 back in the day. I don't know what year this came out. I'd have to look and see. Guess what is the copyright on this? I didn't look that up before I came in here. Sometimes you can tell from the July 1986. So look at there, July 1986. So this is a oldie but a goodie. The magazine's in really good shape, so I guess I will probably keep that in order there. But I will eventually punch this out, play this, because that's what I do. I buy games to play. I don't necessarily buy games to keep on a shelf. Unfortunately, I do have too many on a shelf that I need to get to these days. But I'm actually thinking about doing a deep dive on the Battle of Okinawa as one of my deep dive segments, and then looking at it, kind of getting into more granular perspective on how the battle is portrayed in some of the games that I own. And this is key to that, because this shows it at a somewhat of a operational, tactical, or grand tactical type level of how this game would be, how this battle is portrayed. So anyway, that's what you get in Wargamer 55 Okinawa. As always, thanks for spending some time. Thanks for watching.